Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mailbag Showdown, where I normally sit here and answer a bunch of emails that people have sent to me over the past who knows how long, anywhere between last week to almost a year ago, because I am lazy. I say normally because today, instead of answering a bunch of emails, I just wanted to answer one that was given to me in the last week or so, because the question that I was asked is kind of a thing that I haven't really made clear, and I feel I should clear it up. This may or may not cause people to stop subbing to me, and might stop watching my stuff, because it was related to the Big Three, and anytime anyone talks about the Big Three, shit goes down because everybody gets defensive, and it's like, oh no, Naruto's the greatest thing ever, no, One Piece is the greatest thing ever, no, I think Bleach is the greatest thing ever, guys. And that wonderful war crackles up in people's comments and shit like that. But I'm gonna answer the question anyway, so I'm gonna read it out to you, and I'm gonna answer it. So here we go. I honestly do not get your hate towards the shonen genre. I recently watched one of your Podtakus. Great stuff, by the way. And I was surprised to hear a rather snide comment from your side that kind of judged the entire genre. Something in the lines of, well, if it was a shonen, the protagonist would just go, I'm gonna beat you up. That's not a quote. I just couldn't find your statement. But I find this funny, as shonen is not just the long-running shows like One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto, but it's also shorter, dare I say, more sophisticated anime. I can't help but notice that while you seem like a person who has nothing but contempt towards the mainstream shonen, you tempt to love certain anime in the slice of life genre. No issue there, I like some of those anime too, but just as shonen might have some cliches that some people can make fun of, I would say that the slice of life genre has just as many. Every genre has. I would like to point this out because you don't seem like the person who would want people to think that you have blind contempt towards an entire genre. You seem like the kind of guy that the anime community needs, but not the one that it deserves right now. Okay, bad joke, but seriously, keep doing what you're doing. So TLDR, what do I think of shonen, and why do I think that? Do I show contempt for mainstream shonen? Mainstream, define please. I have contempt, currently, for the Big Three, not because of the shows themselves, but because of the communities around them. I dislike the people that really like One Piece, really like Naruto, really like Bleach, to the point of saying it is the greatest animes ever, when they really aren't. They're okay. That's, in my mind, about it. I'm not saying that they're horrible. I'm not saying they're the worst things ever. But I don't like their communities who tout them as being better than they are. That's what I have contempt for. I don't have contempt for the entire genre either. I rather like some shonen. Soul Eater, my favorite shonen. Yu Yu Hakusho, really good shonen. Dragon Ball Z, classic. I have no problem with these. But I have a problem when you have a show with a large community that goes off on the rails and says it's the greatest thing ever. Sword Art Online had this. The greatest thing about Sword Art Online, though, in regards to this, is that it ended, because when it ended, people could stop talking about it. When you have the Big Three, long-running shonen, they don't end. And when they do, it's after a very long time. Inuyasha took forever to end, but it did. Same with Dragon Ball Z. That ended. Bleach. It is ending. Like, what? Yes, but One Piece and Naruto are still going, and they have been for a very long time. So you get to like this buildup of people who says it's the greatest thing ever, and they can continue to talk about it because a new episode comes out every week and has for years. That is my problem. There is no, like, release. People get it in their mindset and then they just continue watching, and some people drop out, some people stop. There are a lot of people that are not fully caught up on any of these shows, but there's still this mentality there, and that is what I do not like. Though normally, though, when I do talk about shonen, if I ever usually talk about shonen as a side comment, unless I go detailed, generally I'm talking about the Big Three. That's basically it. I don't talk about shonen as an entire genre, even though I use the word shonen. That's a mistake on my part, and I should probably, like, change that in my vocabulary and regular speech. But it's happened. So some might ask, what's your history with the shonen genre, or rather, the Big Three? Well, I've watched a very large chunk of Naruto. Mainly because I was forced to. I did a collaboration review with Professor Otaku a number of years ago, and we bought the first season of Naruto, and we reviewed it, and I don't really know if you want to call it an official review because it was kind of wasn't like at all, but we still were there and on camera and we talked about it and we were making fun of the whole thing. Because it's very make-funnable. Because when people say it's the greatest thing ever, look at those initial Naruto episodes and please try and repeat that with a straight face, because I will laugh at you if you say that those initial episodes of Naruto are the greatest things ever, because they're not. I haven't seen One Piece, like, at all. I've probably seen scattered scenes, but I've never sat down and actually watched an episode of One Piece. I've seen Bleach up to episode 11, and scattered scenes and things beyond that. Like, I know shit that happens. I don't know details, but I know shit that happens, because if you're in my line of work, because of the popularity of these shows, you'd kind of figure it out, because people won't shut up about it around you. You can be like, dude, I don't want to know, but they're like, bro, you don't watch it anyway, so it's okay if I tell you. And that's how that works. And yes, there are things that I dislike about shonen, and other people can ignore them. And then there are things about slice of life that I like, and people can't ignore them. I see your point. Like, I can sit, and I don't mind watching a show like Lucky Star. I've sat and I watched Lucky Star. I didn't think Lucky Star was that bad. There are a lot of people I know that can't stand Lucky Star to, like, a fault. They're just like, oh my god, why? And I'm sitting there, I was just like, it wasn't that bad. I would rather watch Lucky Star than I would Naruto. I know people that are reverse. I know people that would watch all of Naruto before watching all of Lucky Star. And think about that. People would rather watch like 300 episodes of Naruto rather than watch the 24 episodes of Lucky Star. Just in length alone, that tells you something. So no, I don't have blind contempt towards any real genre. I am cautious when I walk into any shonen, because I worry about what might happen to it. Like, I wasn't around for the start of the Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. That was... well, that rise kind of happened around the same time I started watching anime, but because I never really got into it at the time, I feel like it was before my time. Though really it was at the same time. But I was around for when Fairy Tail started, and well, anybody could have just looked at that and called Fairy Tail for what it was going to become. And I worry that things will go the same path, because I'm not saying the Fairy Tail ain't bad, because I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment on it, but I know its fan base. Its fan base is quite large at this point and is growing, and I do feel that when Bleach calmly bows out, whenever it does in the next year or so, that Fairy Tail will fill up its space. I feel like that is what is going to happen. I could be wrong, but it's going that way. So that's when a shonen comes around, I look at it and I'm careful with it, because I'm just like, okay, will it end? I like shows that end. I like shows that have a finale. Yes, there are times when a show ends and I wish it didn't, but there are times when a show doesn't end and I wish it did, and you don't need really 100+ episodes. You can do any story less than that. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood was done in 70 some odd episodes, and the original Fullmetal Alchemist was done in 52 or 54. So it can be done. I think the only thing that I will give credence to that has more than 100 episodes is Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and that was an OVA series that was released over the course of a number of years, but it wasn't a weekly show, so it's slightly different. I know I'm probably just pulling at strings there, but really, if a show has more than 100 episodes, I have to question why. It's not just because I don't like filler, because I dislike filler. I actually hate a lot of filler because I find it pointless and boring. But will my mind ever get changed in regards to the big three? The current big three? No. Well, maybe if I ever found a reason to actually sit through them, because that's my thing. If I got into one of these shows, maybe it'd be different, but I would find that impossible. I don't have the time to watch however many episodes they have, and I would never feel like I was content until I was actually caught up. At one point in time, I don't care if I have to be constantly caught up, but at one point in time, I could say that I was caught up to the show, and that's impossible. I can't watch, like, the 400 or 500 episodes for any of these shows. It's just impossible. Like, I don't know exact numbers. I know someone's probably gonna shout, oh, well, this show only has, like, 300 and some odd. Not for, whatever. It's a lot of episodes, and that's a lot of time I do not have. I think I calculated it once in saying that for me to catch up to, I think it was One Piece, it would take me about 3 or 4 months of doing nothing but that. Though I would also eat, sleep, and shit. That was basically it. And when I'm looking at that, I was just like, wow, a couple of months doing nothing but watching One Piece. And that's how long it would take me to get caught up? No, I think I'm gonna spend my time and watch something else. The barrier of entry is passed for me. You can't expect me to get into it, because if I'm going to get into it, I might as well start at the beginning, but that's impossible. Maybe I should have started watching Fairy Tail when it came out, and then I could say, ah, Fairy Tail, that's the show that I'm most like. But I can't, because I didn't watch it. And I still haven't watched it. I'm still at episode 0, because I haven't watched any of it. Woo! I don't watch any of that, though maybe I should. Huh. Something to think about. So that was the Mailbag Showdown for today. I'm not going to give up my email. I'm not going to give up the mailbag email for you guys to send me stuff, because I still have a ridiculous amount of mailbag emails to sift through, and I should have time to do that soon. Though rule number 1 with me, don't listen to anything I say in regards to plans of what is upcoming, because I will lie. And by lie, I mean tell the truth at the time and then change my mind because I'm lazy. Sorry. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and others, stay frosty.